How are you feeling? You got John Riggs here, and I paid about 200 bucks for this box. Well, no, the box was free. The stuff inside it was about 200 bucks, plus an extra item that I'll talk about at the end of the video. Why wait till the end of the video? Well, because that's less interesting. However, I just came back from the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo, had the best time ever. I posted a video on that you probably didn't see. The low view count proves you probably didn't see it. But it's there if you want to watch it. I have a great time every year at the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo. Don't miss out if you've ever been. It's amazing. And people come up sometimes and they're like, well, what are you looking for? Like, what are you on the hunt? What have you seen? And my usual go-to answer is, I'm not really looking for anything. I mean, maybe if I can turn it into a video, sure. And then sometimes it's just like, I'll know it when I see it. And one thing I do like to find are cheap Nintendo games that I can put on Whatnot and Encore. Now, I'm not like trying to make this huge profit. It's not my full-time job, nothing like that. I'm not looking to buy like $5 NES games and sell them for 40. The games I buy for $5, they usually sell for about $5 on Whatnot. But then on my Whatnot streams, I'm able to sell my other stuff too. So it makes the streams last longer. And me, personally, I don't have the funds for some of these other channels. I see a lot of great Whatnot, a lot of great Encore. They're like, I'm bringing the heat, I'm bringing bangers. It's all these box super rare copies of games, $300, $400. I don't got that kind of money. And I'm sure there are people who look at Encore or look at Whatnot and are all like, I can't be dropping hundreds of dollars on one game. But the $5 game here, $10 game there, that's all I'm looking for, and I like to provide that service. So my buddy Daryl, I see him at conventions sometimes, mostly on the East Coast. He does a lot of like the yard sales, estate sales, stuff like that. So he buys all these games for cheap, and a few times at conventions, he brings them for trade bait, or maybe he's reserving some of them for other people. And then sometimes he'll come to me, I'm just like, how much do you want for all of them? And all the games in this box, 200 bucks. I was like, I can do 200 bucks. So let's see what I got for 200 bucks. And if you price it out or whatever, it's probably about $5 a game. Or 5 or 10, somewhere in there, I don't know. There are some good games in here though. Mostly NES because there are a few Super Nintendo games. There's 3 Super Nintendo games. Here's what that included. Race Driving, Whoop-De-Doo, NHL 97, and a former Blockbuster rental copy of Super Strike Eagle. Which, honestly, admittedly, I'm sure I've played this. I don't remember off the top of my head. It was just like, what do you got left? I mean, because it came with a bunch of stuff. He had some great games, too. But then he used some of those better games for trade bait, or they were reserved for someone else. This was like the leftovers. And trust me, I'm okay with leftovers. There's always room. All right, all the rest are NES. And there's a lot of games in here. For 200 bucks, this is good. And again, when you look at the games, you're just like, you know, did I get a good deal out of it? I think I did. In no particular order, here's what came there. Something, whatever. Starting off with an amazing game. Also, if you could do me a huge favor, hit the subscribe button. It is free to do so. You have unlimited times you can hit the subscribe button, but it does do my channel a whole lot of good. And there are things I sell online too in my shop, so make sure you check out that link in the description below. I got a couple of them, Shopify, Etsy. You know, the hats I wear, it's funny, I'm not even wearing the hat today. But the hats that people request all the time, the video games I make, check out those links. The air fresheners as well, that's right. Mendel Palace from Hudson Soft, from Game Freaks, the guys who made Pokemon, made this first. Super, super, super fun game. If you're like, I've never even heard of that game, look up gameplay footage. Mendel Palace. It's super fun. Arkanoid, just the cartridge. I don't have the controller that goes with it, but Arkanoid's always fun. I'm already starting to run out of room up here. I'm prepping for stuff for the Portland Retro Gaming Expo coming up here in a couple weeks. So, Solstice, love the soundtrack to this one. Rygar, an NES classic. Little Nemo the Dream Master, one of those Capcom games that should be like $100, but it's not. They made so many of these games. They're in abundance, and I'm glad they did. It's such a great game. Not that it's supposed to be $100, but you know, sometimes like those better games, those greater games go for like a lot of money, but you know, it just, during the time it came out, they made so many copies. That's a good price. Pro Wrestling, gotta love it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, gotta love that. I don't know about that price sticker on it though, but you know, that's removable. And again, I didn't pay that price, that's just the sticker that was still on there. Yeah, this is a fun one. 3D World Runner, well that's what we call it. It's like if you open the title screen, it's like the Battles of 3D World, whatever it says. It's 3D World Runner. We have Jaws. Yes, it's LJN, but it's actually a pretty decent game once you know how to play it. This is the 3-screw, unfortunately. 3-screw Jaws goes for like 10 bucks or something like that, but the 5-screw Jaws goes for like $500, something like that. Dragon Warrior, gotta love it. A lot of people grew up with Dragon Warrior for free with the purchase of their Nintendo Power subscription. That's how I got my Dragon Warrior. Here's Kung Fu. Used to go for that price. sounds a little high to me, but here's Kung Fu, all the same. One of the game collectors in the Seattle area was like, because, you know, I used to hack video games all the time, and I was like, you gotta do a Last Dragon hack of Kung Fu and have Show Nuff in there and everything. I'm like, maybe. Gotta do that sometimes. It would be fun. Anyway, I have an Iron Man Stewart Super Off-Road. I love the arcade version of this. It actually plays pretty well for the NES. 4-player on this one. The arcade's only 3-player. What do you think of that? Good old Air Fortress. I talk about this on my channel pretty regularly. Love this game. I'm more of a nostalgic memory. From HAL Laboratories, before Kirby, before Lolo, we had Air Fortress. Actually, Lolo may have come out at the same time. Either way. Air Fortress, love it. Snake's Revenge, oof. Rambo, back in the day, this was an uber common game, but I like this game quite a bit. Shout out to Acclaim, of course. Curious to see Hook in this collection. Hook, so far might be the, I don't know the value of it, but probably the most uncommon game here. Doesn't mean it's any good. The Little Mermaid. Don't construe this game as a kid's game for girls. It's actually a really, really, really good Nintendo game. I really like this game. Cybernoid. I like the box art on this one. And no, Cybernoid is not the robotic sequel to Yo-Noid. I never put those two together. Cybernoid, Yo-Noid. I like Yo-Noid. I don't get to see that game very often. Excitebike, or as my next door neighbor used to call it, Excite-A-Bike. Ghostbusters 2. Not the better one. It's not a terrible game. I just wish it was the one that came out in PAL regions and then Japan. But this Ghostbusters 2. There you go. RC Pro-Am, another classic. Bump and Jump. Ah, good old Bump and Jump. Fond memories playing this at the Burger Ranch that used to be on 16th and Nob Hill in Yakima. It's no longer there. It's they turned it into more area for the school, but Bump and Jump, love this one. Yeah, a little bit of a ripped label for Legacy of the Wizard. A game I loved, never beat it. That was too confusing for me, but man, I loved it. And I love the soundtrack too. Good old Monopoly. If you love Monopoly, watch Jay, SquarePegs. Watch the SquarePegs gaming channel. Jay loves Monopoly. Interesting enough, not just one, but 2 copies of Q*bert. Why not? Next time I do a convention with Warren Davis, I'll have to have him sign them. Not to mention, I don't know if I can, my arm doesn't really bend that way. Doof. There we go. I got my Q*bert tattoo. This was at the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo. The newest tattoo on my arm is Q*bert. Mystic Quest, a game I keep coming back to. I keep wanting to try it, but man, it's another one I've never beaten. Tetris 2. It's like Tetris with like the little bombs in it. Love me some Spy Hunter. Good old Solar Jetman. Love me some Solar Jetman. It was a little hard of a game, but I loved the fact that the different planets had different gravity. Games today don't even do that. Bases Loaded 2. Hudson's Adventure Island. Love this game. Super hard. It goes down in my book as probably the hardest NES game, especially like, what is it, 8.3? Yeah, never mind about all that. Faster's Quest. For some reason, this game gets a lot of heat online, but I really, really liked this game. It's been a while since I've beaten it, too. Dick Tracy. Another game I really liked. I liked the fact that you could drive around, get the clues, find out where to go next, and all that. I liked the movie, too. It's too bad, too, because one of my kids, who I share a lot of my nostalgic movies with, you know, like loved Labyrinth, loved the Muppets movies, you know, Back to the Future, Breakfast Club, all of these great films they loved, they didn't like Dick Tracy. I was like, oh, I think it's because the makeup was too weird. Speaking of Back to the Future, here's Back to the Future. Looks like an X-Rental or something. Mach Rider on this one. Another game I really, really like, Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle. You probably already know this, but this game in Japan was on the Famicom Disk System, and it was Roger Rabbit. So instead of having like the different colors of Sylvester in this game, you have the different colors of the weasels in the Japanese game. Pretty sweet. We got Gradius with the manual. Okay. Always love it when games include the manuals. Another slightly torn label, but Mickey Mousecapade. It's called Mickey Mouse in Japan, so when you play it and look at the title screen, it just says Mickey Mouse. It doesn't say Mickey Mousecapade. It's really good art on that, too. Bad News Baseball, totally decent baseball game. Double Dragon, there are people who prefer this version, slightly different from the arcade. You know, I had the Master System version, which I preferred because it was more like the arcade, but this one was fun, and I had the 2-player fighting mode, which is great. And again, all of that with the Super Nintendo games, $200, which is great. I'm gonna use this for Whatnot. You'll see these. I'm gonna clean them, make sure they work. I want to see personally that when I pop them in my top loader, they work. So I'm gonna do all that first, and I'll set up a Whatnot stream sometime. Check out my link in the description. You'll get your 10%, well, not 10% off. If you're new to Whatnot, check out my link in the description. You'll get 15 bucks towards your first purchase. So, and just that was 200 bucks. And then he had another thing where it was like, you know, just these 200 bucks, but this one over here, if you want it, you know, 30 bucks, I'm okay with that. I was like, huh, I'm not a CIB collector, but a $30 boxed DuckTales in, I think it's really good condition. I'm down. And the box, again, I'm not much for CIB, but I have a couple of games behind me here. A little bit of a fold right there, a little bit of a crease. Now, see, I'm gonna put that side up against the wall, and then that'll be the side you see. That's how that works. And then here's the back of the box if you're like, I've never seen the back of the box for DuckTales. Captain Commando, yeah. And it has the game and manual and everything too, so yeah, I was really happy about that. I think I did pretty good here, but there have been times in the past where I'd spend like $1,000 on a blind box of games where I'm like, was that worth it? Was that an actual $1,000 box? I don't know, it's hard to say. But I still have a fun time doing it. Thanks for watching, we'll do more videos coming up. I hope you're subscribed.